What is it? Hat and glasses.
Have you seen Spider-Man No Way Home?
Yes, I've seen Spider-Man No Way Home, and I loved it. It was a really great movie.
Then dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? You gotta review it. Review the damn movie.
I'm sorry, man. Like I'm just trying to think of what's the best way I can review it. Like that's all there is to it.
Come on, that's no excuse. Review it. I've been asking you many times. Review it. 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 Review it.
All right. Fuck. Jesus Christ. I'll review it.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you later.
What? Hat glasses. Where are you? Hello? Okay, whatever. Hi everyone, Casey this damn door Lopez here, the newest critic on the internet. And today I'm going to be talking about Spider-Man No Way Home. Okay, first off, no spoilers from me for the first 5 to 10-ish minutes. Yep, you're safe with me for now. So, No Way Home picks up straight after the mid-credit scene from Far From Home, where Mysterio reveals Peter's identity to the world. Like, he is now a wanted fugitive, and you have, like, you know, people who believe in Mysterio saying that, like, you know, Spidey should, like, be in jail, and, like, you know, he's evil, and then there's still some supporters of Spidey, like, within the city. So Peter, like, in this moment, is realizing how much this is affecting him, as well as his loved ones, like, such as MJ, Ned, Aunt May, etc. So he goes to Doctor Strange to see how, you know, he can fix this mess. Doctor Strange decides to cast a spell where the entire world forgets that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. But if the entire world forgets, then, you know, that includes MJ and Ned, and, like, Peter's gonna lose his relationships with both of them, since they all have been through a lot, in Peter's time as Spider-Man. And goes on to add, like, Aunt May, since, like, the last time she found out, you know, it was messy, and, you know, Peter also includes Happy Hogan. Like, this all complicates, you know, Doctor Strange's spell, and, like, it just goes crazy. This results in, like, the spell just, like, you know, going wrong and pulling in, like, you know, every person from the previous Spider-Man films, like, into the MCU. Like, all these important, you know, people. That's all I'll say. Yeah. So, I love this movie. This is easily the best Tom Holland Spider-Man film we have had so far. Tom Holland gives such, like, an incredible performance in this movie, because I was sort of afraid. It wasn't a major fear, but I was, like, sort of afraid that, like, you know, his co-stars would you know, overshadow him. But no, like, you know, he is, like, one of the 3 main reasons, if not, like, the main reason why this movie is so good. You know, the supporting cast as well, like, you know, Zendaya, Jacob Batalon, Marisa Tomei, Jon Favreau, like, etc. Like, you know, they're all given, like, you know, such great material this time around, and, like, they do such a fantastic job with what they are given. All the villains that were revealed in the trailers, like, they did such an amazing job. Like, I'll expand more on this in the spoiler section, because I really have some favorite villains, like, you know, in this film. Like, you know, they all did such an amazing job. One nitpick that I have with this movie, and I'll expand upon this, like, in the spoiler section, but, like, there's like a reused footage for certain characters, and, like, it didn't bother me too much, but, like, I started to notice it, like, the 2 times that I've seen the movie in theaters. Okay, spoiler warning. So you can either stop watching the video, or skip to this you know, time code that my editor is gonna put in. Like, when you go to that time code, I'll just give my final thoughts on the movie and my grade. So, spoiler warning. 3, 2, 1. To kick off, the spoiler time. I will mention a few nitpicks. Like, they don't ruin the experience at all for me. But like, I still want to talk about them. I'm expanding on my nitpick about the reused footage, and like the reused footage is for Sandman and Lizard. Like, I actually don't know if they got Thomas Hayden Church and Risa Fons to play Sandman and Lizard again. When they get pulled into the MCU, like they're in their supervillain form for like most of the movie. When Sandman and Lizard both get cured, they go back to their human form, and they literally look like they were pulled out of The Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man 3. Also, while I do appreciate Ned using the sling ring to bring Toby and Andrew, like it is kind of weird how he mastered it so quickly compared to Doctor Strange in his solo movie. Also, I think there is a little continuity error because I don't really know if in the Raimi universe like Norman Osborn was like known as the Green Goblin, because Sandman mentions in the scene that like it was all over the news that both Otto Octavius and Norman Osborn died and were known as the villains that Spidey fought. So like I'm not sure what's going on there, but like yeah, it's not really that concerning. Those are all my nitpicks out of the way. Like now I can just talk about my praise for Spider-Man No Way Home. I really love that, they have Matt Murdock, aka Daredevil, cameo. Like, and he just cameos as Peter's like lawyer, which I thought was a really good way to include him. Like I really like I'm starting to dig how the Marvel Netflix characters are being included in the MCU. Here in No Way Home, I think they handled Daredevil a bit better than Kingpin and Hawkeye. I love the way they use like Matt's abilities, where there were some riders that threw a brick at Peter's window, and like Matt just catches it. Peter is just like asking how he did that, and like Matt is just like I'm a really good lawyer. Thought that was pretty funny. Let's talk about Aunt May. I thought like she was like really used well here in No Way Home. In Far From Home, like I didn't like how Marisa Tomei was really like underutilized in that movie, and she didn't like get the chance to really be like the best Aunt May that she could be. Like in No Way Home, like she is given like a lot more character. She is the one who gives Peter the motivation to help all of these like multiversal villains out, because like she thinks that they're all still people at the end of the day, like with their own problems. And like Peter like originally just wants to send them back, but like Aunt May like convinces him that like they might need help, like they deserve some redemption. At the end of that like apartment building fight, Peter is like unsure of what to do, and like Aunt May tells him like with great power there must also come great responsibility. I feel like Aunt May saying the responsibility line was the best they could do, considering how the MCU has not really acknowledged Uncle Ben, and I don't even think he exists in the universe. I'm glad they have Aunt May saying the responsibility line and having that impact Peter, and she tragically dies like because of Green Goblin's glider. Speaking of responsibility, yes, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are here. Like they are more than just simple cameos, and like they have the perfect amount of screen time, and like they play an important role in motivating and helping Tom Holland's Spider-Man. In this movie, Toby and Andrew tell us that they still got it as their versions of Spider-Man. Andrew can still like deliver funny quips and yet be serious like when it is the right time. Toby is also great as like a wise, more experienced version of Spider-Man, who is, more seasoned. I'm gonna be one of those people who actually wants the Amazing Spider-Man 3. And cause Andrew deserves it. If there was a better script for the Amazing Spider-Man 3, Andrew should be part of that. And cause Andrew deserves to play this character once again. Whereas Tobey, I think we could see him again in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, considering Sam Raimi is going to be directing that film. Before the climax, all three Peters, work on the cure together at Peter's high school, and they talk more in the Statue of Liberty, where the final battle will take place. We get a good sense of what happened after Spider-Man 3 and the Amazing Spider-Man 2. With Tobey's Peter, he was able to work things out with, MJ. And Andrew, still can't really forgive himself for the death of Gwen. When that final battle comes with all three Spider-Men fighting together, it is a theater experience that I will never forget. I will never forget seeing the three Spider-Men that, I just, love, together fighting the bad guys. It's just, wow. This, oh my fucking God, this movie is amazing. Tobey's Peter gets the chance to interact with Alfred Molina's Doc Ock again, and Doc Ock near the end is friendly towards Peter. He has control of his arms, and seeing them interact together, just an amazing thing to see. Andrew's Peter gets the chance to save Zendaya's MJ. He gets that redemption of saving the girlfriend. He's saving Tom's girlfriend, and Andrew, he has emotion when he does save MJ. It was a really great moment. Andrew deserved that redemption. It was really great. Now I'm gonna expand my thoughts on all the villains. All the villains here, they did an amazing job. Alfred Molina, Jamie Foxx, etc. They all did such an amazing job with their characters once again. And I really love how some of these villains, their character arcs from the previous movies are still there, and they don't get completely just erased. I love how this film didn't disrespect those characters, their arcs, and I thought that was really great to have that growth intact later on in the end. My favorite villain performance in this movie easily is Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin. At first I wasn't a huge fan of him not having a mask to go along with his suit. I thought it wasn't really that appealing to me, but after seeing this movie, it kind of made sense to have him with no mask. During that apartment building fight where Tom's Peter is just beating down on a goblin, and he just keeps laughing and laughing. We get to see more of Willem Dafoe's acting ability, and I can see it now. We get to see more of Willem Dafoe, and him act as this crazy supervillain. It's just really awesome. The Green Goblin in this movie is the best villain out of all the villains that came back. He truly made MCU Peter suffer with the death of Aunt May, and during the climax, the Goblin side of Norman, the darker side, taunts Peter more and more, and Peter is just done with him. He's fine with curing all the other villains, but Norman, Peter wants to kill him in revenge. And I love how this isn't a standard MCU fight with stylish CGI. It's just two guys unmasked, just beating each other up, and it's brutal. Tom Holland's Peter is close to killing Norman. Then Tobey stops him at the last second, and Tom decides to let go of that revenge. Then I started to worry for my health, because Tobey's Peter got stabbed by the Green Goblin, and that's where I was worrying for my health, and I was nervous. Norman gets cured along with everyone else, and Tobey ends up fine. like Toby ends up being okay considering he has been stabbed before. Then Doctor Strange warns Peter about how the multiverse is sort of colliding, and like he just can't stop it. He can't cast like the same spell, and Peter realizes that he has to have Strange cast the original spell where everyone is gonna forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. We see the growth of MCU's Peter. Like he goes from not wanting to have the spell at all, wanting to have everything he wants, but he's been through so much in this movie, and he doesn't really want to have his loved ones endangered at all anymore. So Peter decides that it's okay for Strange to cast the spell and make everyone forget that Peter is Spider-Man. Before the spell goes through, Peter says goodbye, to MJ and Ned, and that he will try to make them remember once the spell is over. And the spell goes through, and everyone gets sent back to their universe. The two Spider-Men as well as the villains, they all get sent back. Near the end, we have that coffee shop scene where Peter meets MJ and she doesn't remember him, and he sees Ned as well, and he wants to connect with them again. But then MJ still has that band-aid from the final battle, and Peter is reminded once again that he has to be distant from the people he loves to keep them safe. And it there is consequence, there is more consequences in this film for Peter, and I like that. It's really great how the writers made Peter it sounds bad, but I really love how they made Peter suffer through loss, consequence, and struggling to have everything he wants. And so we have gotten to a place where we see that version of Spider-Man where he's on his own, and he still is going to continue to do the right thing despite the fact that it's going to have a negative impact on his life. Peter visits Aunt May's grave, and I saw that it was the same words from the PS4 game, which was really great to see. Happy shows up to Aunt May's grave not remembering Peter at all, and Happy mentions that he lost a friend once, which was Tony. And to be honest, I don't think Tony was referenced that much in this movie, which I guess was smart to make No Way Home truly be a Spider-Man movie and have no connections to Avengers or Iron Man. Peter tells Happy that someone's loved ones may be gone, but the lessons and morals are still there. And Peter realizes that now. In the end, Peter gets his own apartment, just small apartment, and he's all alone, and like I said, we've gotten to a point where we're seeing that classic version of Spider-Man where he's independent and he has no Stark Tech, no Edith, no Karen, just Spider-Man making his own suit and then swinging into New York City. And the movie ends there. Post-credit scenes, thoughts. There was a post-credit scene with Venom, because he got transported to the MCU as well because of Let There Be Carnage. And he disappears along with all the other multiversal people we saw throughout the film. But there is a drop of a symbiote there, which could lead to a whole lot of possibilities, Peter getting the black suit. There was also a teaser after the credits for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, which at the time I'm recording this has been released on YouTube already. That is an MCU project that I'm just as excited about because Sam Raimi is going to be part of that, and I can't wait to see what he does in the MCU. So in conclusion, Spider-Man No Way Home is easily in my top 3 Spider-Man films. It's my favorite MCU Spider-Man movie. I just really love it. Even with all my nitpicks, it's still such a kick-ass time, and I'm going to give it
Okay, come on. Give it an A+. Give it an A+.
A+. I'm giving this movie an A+.
Let's go!
Get yourself, I gotta drop that funky soul. Raise up, get yourself together and drive on the soul. New York,
Anyways, like that was my review for Spider-Man No Way Home. If I get the chance to see this movie a few more times, I absolutely would. Like, this is like a must-see if you are a Spider-Man fan. Okay, that was it for the video. Here is my social media platforms, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. And Merry Christmas.